Okay, so this is OKAJA study group meeting and we are recording this. Our participants today are Olga.
Hello.
And Olga is our recorder and documenter. Katarina.
Hello.
Andrea.
Hi.
I'm keeper Janina.
Hello.
And me as your host, Antti. Today our purpose is to discuss issues related to objectives for pricing and setting them. And all of you have received today's agenda together with a meeting invitation and have seen all the three discussion points, which in essence are how to justify price differences of the same product in different settings, what are the factors governing marketing-oriented pricing, and then the third topic is your take on the possible contradiction of pricing motives between different functions in organization. Does anybody have any other business that we need to cover today, this meeting?
No.
All right, let's go down to that then. So the first topic, how would you justify the price differences for a cup of coffee that you might encounter if you purchase it in a local coffee shop versus a top-class hotel? So Kat, why don't you go ahead?
Yes. So, well, I think for me, when I go to a high-class, top-class hotel, it's not necessarily about the coffee, or like it's not the coffee that I'm paying for, it's the whole experience, the location, the trained staff, the ambience, and it comes as a whole package. And I think when I go to a local coffee shop, I'm just going there for the coffee. And so I think I can justify the price by that. It's an experience, and it's very enjoyable. So yeah.
Right. Olga.
Well, maybe I will go more formal. Well, the price of any product is formed from several elements. First of all is the cost of goods, and it's probably the cost of its manufacture. So, for example, coffee in a top-class hotel might be better quality and therefore more expensive than coffee in a local coffee shop. That was the first thing which came to my mind. And secondly, the seller of goods includes profit, of course, in the price of its product. So a top-class hotel naturally want to have more money from selling its product as a part of luxury brand than any kind of local coffee shop. And well, price is also affected by the demand and value of the product. So I think it's very simple to understand that if the product is more valuable for the buyer, then the demand is higher, and the higher is the price, of course. And the level of the hotel provides a preference to increase the price of the product. So the customer doesn't buy just coffee, as Kat said, but coffee is the part of hotel brand and experience.
Right.
And finally, I want to mention the fact that service level might also affect the price. So the higher quality level of service provides more reasons to price increase. Yeah, that's my point. Thanks.
Well, I also agree with Kat. I think that the price difference is justifiable, as a local coffee shop needs to base its pricing on the competition so it can actually compete or have a competitive advantage over the other local coffee shops in the area and attract the customers. On the other hand, the top-class hotel has a non-price competition orientation. Having already customers in the top-class hotel, the cup of coffee is an extension of the service to its guests. The hotel will base the price not just on the quality of the coffee, but on the irreputable customer service they have, the sophisticated demeanor, the convenience, time saving, and the added value it provides to the guests, which will highlight to the customer that they're not just buying any cup of coffee. They're like buying the whole top-class hotel experience with it.
That sounds good. I want that. Janina.
Wow, I'm speechless. So much information, very good points, girls. What I could maybe add to this is that when comparing a small coffee shop to a world-class hotel, the hotel's overhead is much higher than a coffee shop's. For example, taxes or any other costs are much higher. So there is one good reason for the coffee to be more pricey. And one good point that nobody mentioned before is that also maybe the employees' salaries are much higher in a hotel's restaurant or cafeteria than in a normal coffee shop.
Excellent. There's like a customer point of view, then the market's point of view, the whole package with Andrea and Janina's cost point there. Absolutely. Hey, the next topic would be, or is, what factors must be taken into consideration when adapting a marketing-oriented approach to pricing? And this, I think, Olga, you could perhaps start this one.
Well, yeah, thanks. And I'm very happy that I'm the first one in this discussion, because for me, this question is very interesting, because, well, now I'm dealing with pricing strategy for my textiles. And to tell true, it's more difficult than pricing art, for example, as I did before. So before development and pricing strategy, company must analyze the external factors that influence that final decision. I think so. It's very important. And the problem with the strategy lies in the fact that, on the other hand, the price should be high enough to motivate the production unit, which could sell this product on the market through a traditional distributor network. And on the other hand, the price should be low enough for the company to be competitive in a particular market. And that's a huge challenge. So when companies start to develop pricing policy, it should consider many different things, such as what place the price hold among the means of competition in each market, what pricing methods should be chosen, as it is market orientated, is it competitor based or customer based or whatever, is the company has ability to withstand the price war, for example, and what will be the pricing policy with each future product, and how the price can be changed during product's life cycle. So there are a lot of different things you need to think about. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I also think, as Olga said, you need to take into account what the competitor is doing, and also like what are the customers driven by to purchase the product? Are they looking for the lowest price? Are they looking for the best quality? And those sorts of things. And also you have to look, when you think of pricing, you have to look at the fixed and the direct costs. And also, where do you want to be in the marketplace? Do you want to be like the best quality, top luxury product, or do you want to be the cheapest? Do you want to fall somewhere in between? So I think when it comes to pricing, there's many things that need to be considered.
Right. Andrea, you want to say something?
Yeah, of course. That was like really interesting to listen to Olga's experience, because it's something that you normally cannot just ask like students about. So it's really nice to have you here, Olga. I think also the factors that affect like the most when marketeers take a marketing oriented approach to pricing and fulfill this 8 stages for establishing prices that we read in the book are mostly the level of competition in the industry that the specific product will be at, the labor cost and the production development cost to produce the product, which should also include like taxation rates, because every product gets taxed differently, and also take into consideration the exchange rate if you're importing like raw materials to make your product. I also think like it is different from a new company to position their product in the industry, while an old and more trustable like company. So the company's position is really important. I also think the demographic and the purchasing power of the target customer is really important for the product to be like priced, and the actual demand and the elasticity of the demand of the product is important. And I also think that the perceived value of not just the product, but the company selling it will ultimately change how marketeers will handle pricing.
Right. Janina, I didn't forget you.
About this quickly.
Okay.
Like you need to put the price in the very beginning, because during working process you can change different things like marketing, advertising, but pricing is very important in the very beginning. So
yeah, if you change it, customers don't trust you anymore. That's what I was said about trustability and long-term customer relationships.
Yeah, Janina, we didn't forget you.
Yeah, Andrea made great points about how our study book is really going deep into those 8 factors that are affecting the pricing. But one thing that I would suggest in general is that one really needs to study their demographics to understand the target market. And within this, also not to forget to see the market, the other similar products, what kind of pricing are they offering, and then to understand what is the willingness of the customers to pay for the products. Are they willing to pay more for better quality or not? These are things that really affects, I think, the pricing.
All right. Very good points, all of you. Hey, last topic we have is kind of, there's a statement, and then I'm going to ask you what you want or what you think about it. So the statement: accountants are always interested in profit margins. Sales managers want low prices to help push the sales, and the marketing managers are interested in high prices to establish premium positions in the marketplace. So to what extent do you agree with this statement in relation to the setting of prices? And let's start, Janina, with you, because you were last previously.
Yeah. Okay, we don't have forever to debate about this, even though this would be an interesting topic to debate about. But I actually want to disagree with this debate, and I want to mention that I think sales team should not worry about the price too much, because their job is to push the sales no matter what. So I don't think it's their role to really criticize the price or take too much control over the pricing, because they need to have the right attitude, the right motivation. And the fact is, customers will buy anything with any price. It doesn't matter if you know how to sell your product. So I would actually disagree with this debate.
All right. And who is next then? Andrea, perhaps?
I agree and disagree at the same time with Janina. I agree that if it were a utopian world, that the statement is true, as it characterizes each job role with what would be the most compatible in its area. But in the real world, accountants, sales managers, marketing managers, and all the staff of the company will have to adapt to the product and the target market they are working with. And based on the product and the analysis of how the target market reacts to the actual product itself and its price, it's what will ultimately define in the end the approach that all these 3 must work with to make the company profitable, which is the ultimate goal for like a company and its staff.
That's a very good statement. I'll come back to that one in a minute. Olga, you have something on this one?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, I agree almost of those things. And well, actually, I agree, because each of this activity, like accounting and management, they have their own pricing strategy, of course. And the attitude to the price of the product is different, but the goal is to increase income anyway. So I think, yeah, I agree with those things.
Yeah.
All right.
I definitely agree with Andrea and Olga in terms of it's the businesses ultimately care about their bottom line. And that is the main goal, to make profit, whether you're an accountant, sales manager, whatever. You want to make profit. And whatever way to achieve it is, the right way to go about it. So, yeah.
All right. If I may, I also have experience, a little bit experience on this one. So I think this would really depend on so many factors, and it really starts from a marketing strategy. And it definitely needs to be a joint effort. So the entire product management pipeline needs to be involved with that. and everybody have a role. So each of these ones, they have a role there. But for example, accountants, they mainly record and report the numbers. They don't set the price. And it's really, really important in that to keep in mind how these different roles are incentivized, because you get what you measure. And that has really big impact on the motivation. So in real life, there might be controversy and misalignment, but in principle, there should be pipeline view to that. Okay, and that basically concludes our discussion today, but please note that this recording and all the documentation for this meeting can be found in either OKAJA Teams chat area or in Teams files. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And bye for now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.